Yeah, I'm Laura Jordan Bambach. I'm co-founder and chief creative officer at Mr. President. I have been on a little bit of a journey with three amazing co-authors, and we've written a book called Creative Superpowers, talking about how to make yourself more creative and thrive in this age of creativity, really. So yes, we were talking about, our four different superpowers: making, hacking, thieving, and teaching. And just sharing a little bit about not only the book, but some of the methods, that we each use to keep ourselves more creative. I think in the context of this event, I think there were quite a lot of questions and quite a lot of conversations around what the future of an agency might be, or what the future of being a creative person might be. And there was a lot of discussion around sort of breaking out of the idea of being an advertising agency or working in advertising and putting your creativity to greater use to really embrace your consumers in a different way, or to kind of build brands in a different way, or to solve problems in a much more creative way rather than just thinking about the output, the ad, the film, the what have you. I think the conversations around that were really powerful. You know what, I think the big challenge for brands is that as all of those channels have exploded, there has been a real lack of kind of a linchpin in the middle, what Mr. President we call a brand defining idea, but something that holds all of those things together and helps to kind of orientate the brand. It helps the brands understand what channels they should be in or not, and how customer service should speak, and how the user experience on the site should be, as well as the marketing and what have you. So I think actually what a lot of brands need is just finding that kind of key central thought, really, that will help them to not have to do everything and scattergun everywhere, but actually to be a bit more direct in what it is that they want to do. If I was sitting at my desk all the time, number one, it's not a very kind of creative place to be, but I think you need to bounce off peers, and you need to be having conversations about what the future holds, and not only that, kind of what interesting work you've seen, what cool stuff you're working on right now. There's a massive amount of importance in actually spending time with your peers and sharing stuff, and it's great that an event like this can help you do it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mr. P is a massively non-hierarchical company, and we have to be because we're small as well. We're, a group of very smart, very kind of agile, very multidisciplinary, players, which is how I love to work. It's challenging times. I think, globally it is. Budgets are smaller, there are more brands, consumers don't care as much anymore, tech companies are coming and eating our breakfast, and so they should, because I don't know that traditional advertising is as effective as what it could be or once was. In the UK, we've got the added complication of Brexit, which is, not doing anyone any favours, to be honest, and it's making life hard for us and for the brands that we work for and for the businesses that support the industry. So yeah, I think it's a tough time. Look, I think it's directly affecting a lot of businesses, including ours, because it affects our clients. If people aren't spending money in the UK, then talking people into spending money when they don't have any money is problematic. So I think it's definitely, I think the uncertainty particularly is causing quite a lot of difficulty, but it can't go on forever, can it? It's got to end one day. Yeah, I think the exciting thing, so I've talked a lot about the kind of negative stuff around the industry and the industry in crisis. There is a lot of opportunity there as well. I think with any massive change, there are really interesting green shoots. I hope that we're one of them. More creativity, as I was saying, less hierarchy, more agile people, a more diverse workforce, different kinds of ideas. I think all of this stuff is like we're kind of ripe for it right now, whereas maybe in times are a bit easier, it's a bit easier to kind of lean on, kind of lean back and do what you've always done. That's not possible anymore, so the industry has to adapt, and in a way that's quite exciting. Yeah, I really hope that that's the case. So it feels like we're putting a lot of stuff into practice, that there's so much more still left to do. It's like one step forward, two steps back, or maybe two steps forward, one step back. There's a lot still to be done, but if I just think about what it was like when I was a young girl to the experience that I see my son having now, how different it is, and how he genuinely doesn't see gender barriers, or there is no issue with sexuality, or it's really wonderful just to see that he's got this, he's got diversity at his heart, I guess, in a way that society didn't when I was younger. So I do hope that the rest of the world kind of catches up to where the 10 and 11-year-olds are.